What we do is that we dance a lot, we move a lot, and we usually don't talk before we dance, so this is unusual. And I'm talking before we dance because I can't dance. I'm injured in the legs and the knees, and so I have to be off the dancing for a while, which is very hard to do. But our dancing is therapeutic, and so when you dance, you are in prayer, you're in meditation the whole time, but it's also a way of moving energy around. So just like a windmill or water, when that stuff moves, what happens is that moves molecules, and that creates energy. So as a dancer moves and creates energy, we're allowed to kind of say we want that energy for something. And this week is important, very, very important this year for our group. We've had severe losses over the years. And so I just want to, more so not over the years, but this year, just mention some of those names. One of our dancers, a young woman in her 20s, just passed away. And we had her service, Elizabeth. So I just want to send her name out and to her family. We also lost a father, so just say his name, also Jesus. My mother left this year. And just say goodbye to my mom too. And she was followed by her two brothers, and my brother also followed her. So this year has been extremely hard. One of our family members that'll be dancing today lost her brother also, and their father a year and a half ago, and it's just been almost every month we've been experiencing a loss. So to dance today and to be able to be close to our ancestors is just a wonderful thing. In our science, to understand our science, it's interesting how this day comes at what you would call Halloween or All Souls Day. But for us in our science, we don't believe that there's death like you die, because your spirit can never die. There's only what's called transformation of energy. So if you ever take a physics class, you understand that energy just doesn't stop existing, it just transforms to something else. So we are a very scientific people, and there's always a transformation of energy. So a lot of times you see, we've got all these skulls out, and you think, oh man, we're sadistic people, we're worshiping the devil, we've got skulls and everything out. We're very poetic and artistic culture, and the skulls to us represent that transition. That skull at one time had flesh on it, okay? That was in the three-dimensional world. That flesh leaves the skull as well as the spirit leaves the skull, and that spirit transforms into the next dimension. So what happens at this time of the year is those dimensions become very close, they're very aligned. Since we live in what's called, I know this is really rough because I'm also a math teacher, so I hope I'm not going too fast for anybody out there. Everybody did well in school, right? Yeah? Are you doing good in school? Are you in school? No? Okay. Focus on math. You've learned everything you need to know about life in math. The thing about dimensions is they become close at this time. So we are three-dimensional people. We live in a three-dimensional world. And I'll explain what that means. If you're an ant walking on a string, you walk back and forth, one dimension. If you're an ant walking on the table, you walk back and forth and then you go sideways. That's two dimensions. If you're an ant that has wings, you can fly above the table and below the table. That's three dimensions. That's the world that we live in. When you transform energy, it goes on to another dimension, a fourth dimension, a fifth dimension. That's when they start talking about the speed of light and sound. So we say that these dimensions are really close. So those that are in a higher dimension can actually come and be close to us and appreciate us. We are in a lower dimension, so we can't really do that. Like if you're on the table, you don't see what's under the table. So it's that kind of thing. So that's why at this time of the year, it's not that we're being gory, but we put out the food that are relative light. We do the things that are relative light, and we pray and sing because we're welcoming them back home. And we hope that they appreciate that we still think of them and we're keeping their memories alive, and that we remember the beautiful things that transpired as we were here. So there's nothing gory or anything about our belief, but it really is that recognizing of your ancestor and that appreciating the short time that we have to be a little bit close together before they move on and the dimensions separate. So sorry for the long mathematical history lesson. We're going to go ahead and offer a blessing for you today. The young people are going to start, and they're going to come in from the western direction over there. So if you're sitting in these seats and you don't want to get a neck ache, you could just turn your chair that way. And if you could clear the center area of the concrete, the dancers are all going to come straight in that area.